No problem. How about it? Here on a Friday morning. What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. I'm Jason Hamby, and this is Stadium Pulse. Hope everybody is ready to talk some ball for the next hour. We got college football headlines and storylines headed into the 2025 season. We're just 3 weeks away, and it couldn't get here any soon enough. We got a loaded one for you today. Welcome to Stadium Pulse, presented by Nimnicht Buick GMC, Nimnicht Chevrolet here in Jacksonville. And we got DJ Lagway today. We got DJ Lagway and the injury update there. Can Florida stay healthy? Are they going to be ready going into week one? Dallas Wilson also hurt, out for the rest of training camp. Top 25 coaches poll. We know how much that matters, but definitely some interesting things there. The SEC on Netflix, don't know if y'all have seen that show, but it's portraying some coaches in some interesting lights. We'll get into that. UCF's quarterback problem. Arch Manning confirming what we talked about all last week. We may be getting into the return of a beloved head coach around these parts as well. Two of them, actually, with ties to a program that we cover a lot. FSU, obviously, again, if you've a weekly watcher of Stadium Pulse, FSU, UF, UCF, Miami, and Georgia are our 5 teams that we try to lock in on each and every week. And we will do that once again this week. But we start with DJ Lagway, and I will have a special introduction in just a few minutes. But to get right into it, DJ Lagway, obviously, he's been the talk on this show for the last couple of weeks. The boot that he was seen walking around on campus in a few weeks back, turns out that it's a calf injury. He's now returned to practice, not a full participant, 75 to 80% by reports. All right, how big of a deal is it? We got all into that last week. I told you it was a way bigger deal than I would guess that Florida wants you to believe, right? The guy has to practice. We talked about that. The guy's barely practiced over the last year. The guy's barely practiced in his entire time at Florida, right? All of his reps last year were in-game. He didn't practice all fall with the shoulder injury that was kind of inconspicuous. We couldn't figure that one out. He didn't throw all spring in practice against defenses. And now he's less than fully mobile over fall camp, right? The guy plays like a freshman quarterback, and regardless of how many throws that you've seen, and again, I'll continue to repeat, I think DJ Lagway can be a top 5 quarterback in college football. But if the guy isn't practicing, we still got to treat him like a freshman quarterback until, again, without Sanford last year, 9 picks, 9 touchdowns, 50-some% completion rating. That's a freshman quarterback for you. And you're going to start seeing a lot. You're going to continue to see that until you don't, as long as he is not practicing. So he's got the calf injury. Injury prone aside, you guys got to get him healthy, Florida, or else you're going to see Harrison Bailey a lot more than you want to. I mean, we're almost there, guys. Like we are almost to week 1, and you got. I mean, we understand who your week 1 opponent is. Well, I might ask get into that in just a second. I didn't even know it was a university. Didn't know the college existed, and I can't say a whole lot because Georgia's playing Marshall, which is by far the worst opponent we've ever opened with in the last 10 years. Where I'm used to the Clemsons and the Oregons and the Notre Dames. But the point remains, we got to get him going. And I get it, Florida fans. We're going to post a video on Twitter of DJ Lagway throwing a go ball, route on air, no defense, and we're going to go crazy. DJ Lagway's back. Holy cow, DJ Lagway is the pure thrower in college football. And look, I think he has a phenomenal deep ball. There's no question. That's why I think he can be a top 5 quarterback. But I complete that ball. I complete that ball, guys. And so do you if you're watching. There's no defense. Guy's just running a go ball. And it's probably a 40-yard throw. And we want to go crazy on Twitter. All right. You guys got to be wary of the propaganda this time of year. You're gonna see tweets flying all over the place of your team, your favorite team, and your quarterback throwing to receivers where there's no defense, no pass rush, no nothing. It's practically warm-ups, and you're gonna see the headline. Holy cow, we're back. Okay? Be careful out there. I'll tell you who that go ball wasn't to. It wasn't to Dallas Wilson, the true freshman 5-star recruit that is supposed to be the leader now of Florida's receiving core. He's out. He's also got a lower leg injury, or he's got a hard cast below the knee. Not good. He's out for a couple weeks, out for the rest of fall camp. And this is the thing with Florida. You got Trey Wilson, Eugene Wilson, who's your only good returner in the core, and he's also been out. Him and Aiden Mizell have been injured at times during camp already so far. Maybe the question is, Florida, do y'all have an injury problem just across the board? I mean, the strength and conditioning, what are we doing? Don't want to get into that today. You guys watching SEC on Netflix? I think this is I'm 2 episodes in so far. Okay. If you haven't seen, there's a new SEC. I don't even know. I wouldn't call it a documentary, but it's pretty much the Hard Knocks version. If you ever watched that on from the NFL, I think the Buffalo Bills are this year's, by the way. I think I saw that announcement the other day. But we got the SEC show, and they're following different teams. Most notably, they're not following any of the best teams in the conference when they're trying to showcase the best things about the conference. So I'm only 2 weeks in so far, or 2 shows in so far. They follow LSU and South Carolina in the first one. The second one is all Florida. And then the third one I'm about to watch is Vandy, and it kind of chronicles the upset over Alabama. I think it's 5 episodes in total. Not sure exactly what the 4th and 5th are, but I'm pretty sure like Georgia's not in it. Texas ain't in it. I don't think Bama's in it other than the fact that they got beat by Vandy. So I mean, this is I would never expect Kirby Smart to want to participate in anything like this. But it's just interesting. We're going to showcase the best things about the SEC, and we're not going to include their best teams. We might want to do better on that next time. So to continue the conversation on DJ Lagway, actually, he's the focus. Him and Mertz and the quarterback competition of last year in Gainesville is the focus. And look, I mean, how is Lagway portrayed? He's portrayed like an 18-year-old. Like he's portrayed as a tender dude, right? And wants to learn and has a great relationship with Graham Mertz. And I don't think I'm spoiling for anybody that hasn't watched it yet. I don't think any of this is news to you. But you'll see, it chronicles, the start against Samford and the concussion with Mertz and then the ACL. And Lagway being thrown into the fire again with almost zero experience, almost zero practice time even. He's afraid to make mistakes. Like he throws a pick. I think it was in the Tennessee game, and he's running off to the side. He's like, they asked him what he's thinking running off to the sideline. He's like, man, everybody's gonna be mad at me. I'm like, Okay, yeah, but is that what I don't know. I don't know if I was just your own teammates and thinking about your own fans being mad at you. Wouldn't think would be the first thought of most really good quarterbacks in college football. Like, I think at this point you should be probably over that. I get you're playing in front of 100,000 for the first time, but I mean, you're the elite of the elite, especially coming out of high school. You know, this isn't new territory for you as far as making mistakes, right? All that to say, he's portrayed like a freshman quarterback because that's what he is. He looks really young, and like the way that he talks, really young. Not to say that he's immature by any means, but that's just the vibe that I was getting. In the first episode, it's all LSU and South Carolina. Now, Brian Kelly is probably one of the most unlikable coaches in college football. And it's more of the fact of where he came from, Notre Dame. Everybody's going to always pretty much hate any coach of Notre Dame. I get it. But it was kind of like Brian Kelly gives you the entitlement of the guy who's won the big one but never won the big one. And you're going to hear excuses from the guy left and right. The interesting thing that I'm seeing is they're portraying Brian Kelly, and again, how much do you want to take away? They're showing snippets and snapshots of the guy at practice and after games and getting reactions and that kind of thing. But the guy is demanding and begging for the attention of his own players during a practice a couple of days before week 1 of last year. How are we begging for the attention like a second grade teacher of our own players? That's what's supposed to be one of the most elite programs in college football. And you're Brian Kelly. If you're begging for your team's attention and begging for them to practice hard, it doesn't seem like you're in control, coach. I mean, it seems like kind of a pushover. If you're begging for, is Sark begging for attention at Texas? Kirby? I don't think so. And, you know, for a guy who's never won the big one, it kind of makes you scratch your head and be like, well, kind of makes sense why. I mean, we're trying to, maybe you guys will just have to watch it and we'll see. Beamer is sick, but at the same time, you know, you appreciate how he plays the underdog, but does he undersell his program too much? It's almost like too self-deprecating. Like, yeah, we get that South Carolina is not in the same conversation as all these other schools. But when you belabor the point, and it's not just, it goes beyond the underdog of, you know, nobody's expecting us to do anything. Everybody's counting us out. Cool. But when you say yourself that South Carolina is not the program that all these other schools are, as a South Carolina fan, I don't know if I'd appreciate that. Whether it's true or not, upsell the program. Tell me that they are on the same level as everybody else and that you're going to prove it this year. So I'm excited to watch the third episode. I get to see Pavia run his mouth about Alabama, and we'll get into that. I'm interested to see what Clark Lee is about, their coach. But man, I don't think anybody can surpass the performance that Brian Kelly has put on so far and all of the excuses that he seems to be making. With that, I want to move to another coach. Appreciate y'all hopping in the chat, by the way. Gary Wilkerson, hope he stays out of trouble. Talking about Lagway. You know how it can get in Gainesville. Yes, I do, Gary. It's funny you mentioned that. We know full well. DJ Lagway seems like an unbelievable kid. Seems like an all ball type of dude. I agree. Appreciate you hopping in the chat. Cade, who will play quarterback for the Knights? We will get to that, I promise, in the second part of the show. But right now, a coach that can make some excuses of his own. We go from Brian Kelly, one of the most unlikable coaches in college football, to the man who is really, really, really well liked around these parts, and that's Jimbo Fisher. Okay? Before I do that, I think now is the right time. I've been telling you guys on this show, Tennessee Nick is long gone. He's enjoying the good life up in Tennessee. You will hear from him at some point during this fall when the Volunteers lose one they shouldn't or before they play Georgia. Okay, I can make that promise. But I've been telling you for a couple weeks, and we're going to have a new man at the helm in the drive-through window. So I'm going to introduce you to the right guy, pushing all the right buttons. This guy, I should know this, but I might be wrong here, but I'm going to say that he was an unbelievable kicker at a premier university. Okay? I'm bringing you the best of the best here on Stadium Pulse on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. This guy, former college kicker at a premier university, were you undefeated during your time there?
That would be a firm negative. No, we were not quite undefeated.
Was that the 3-9 season?
That was the 3-9 season.
Come on in here. I got to introduce this guy. This is Zach Benwick, a former college kicker. Where, Zach?
Jacksonville University.
And how long were you there?
1 season.
And then what happened after that season?
They cut the program.
Okay, so how much of that is your fault?
100% if you ask any of my friends.
All right, so this is the guy who is responsible for JU ending their football program, and that makes him the perfect guy for this job.
That's exactly right.
What's a bigger deal, debuting on this show or debuting as a college kicker as a Dolphin?
I would say debuting on the show. We have more viewers here than we did at any JU game combined, I believe. So this show's much bigger for me.
All right. Zach Benwick, we're happy to have you. Zach, you're accustomed. You know all about Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah.
He's a favorite of yours.
Yes, he is.
Okay. Zach, FSU guy, right? He's not necessarily beloved by your people.
Not quite. Nope. He's when he got up and left, it was, if I'm not mistaken, he had previously, like maybe the year or two before, just signed a major contract to stay with the Seminoles and got bought out. And he previously told us in interviews after winning the national championship against Auburn that he would never leave, that he couldn't be bought, and how much he loved Florida State. And money talks.
It does.
Money talks.
Is that a well, let's just get into it. Obviously, he goes to A&M. It's a disaster. Okay? And I'm going to play you this video I want everybody to hear. This is from Freddie Stevenson. I believe that was a former either player or coach of his. Zach, we have that queued up. Let's take a listen. Jimbo Fisher's asked if he wants to return to college football as a head coach. Here you go.
The right situation comes along and it's right. I'm still 59. I'm still in great shape. I'm healthy. Have had success everywhere we've ever been. We know at the end at A&M it's unfortunate, but we also had the highest ranked team they ever had there in 2020. That's the last one they've had at 30. Well, we play with our quarterbacks got hurt. We play with first team and third team, and not only did they play good, it's just hard to get play calling and get guys around, and we play with a little inconsistency, and we didn't pan out like we needed to. But I still, the way the game is, and yes, I still do, because I still love it. I never thought it was a job, and I loved it, and I think be able to do it, I would. I mean, now I've been fortunate. I've won 72% of my games, won 80% of my playoff games, been fortunate to win a national championship as a head coach, as assistant.
Holy cow. Our quarterbacks got hurt. I won 72% of my games. Jimbo, man. Have some feel. We need to create a segment. Have some feel alert. These guys got none. Oh, our quarterbacks got hurt. It didn't pan out like it should have. Hey, Jimbo. I mean, you win the award for biggest understatement of the year so far. It didn't pan out. You got bought out for $75 million. That's how bad they wanted to get rid of you. It didn't pan out. Yeah, it's like you forgot how to coach. Oh, our quarterbacks got hurt. We were playing first and third stringers. What happened to the second stringers? Oh, you just didn't want to recruit those? Good old Jimbo, man. Beloved around these parts. I love this guy, man, because this guy knows exactly what fans think of him. And by that, I mean he has no idea what fans think of him. Will Jimbo Fisher return to college football as a head coach? I believe he will. Okay? The fact of the matter is, how many guys can you name right now that have won a national championship in the last 20 years? Okay? The fact of the matter is, there's not a lot. This is the same thinking as Jags fans hiring Doug Peterson a couple years back. Now, obviously, we know hindsight's 2020, but the guy was a good coach. He was obviously the only coach available that wanted a job, that had won a Super Bowl. Those guys don't come around very often. It's why, as a Jags fan, we were so ecstatic to get him. Okay? So there's going to be a market. But Jimbo, 75 million, I mean, I don't know, man. If I'm collecting, $75 million over the next couple years just to kick back and drink a sweet tea. I don't know where he lives. I wish I did know that. Where he's currently residing. I can guarantee you it's not in Tallahassee. Or College Station for that matter. But I don't know if I didn't want to return. He says he's 59. He says he can give a lot to the game still. He says he's healthy. He's still living in College Station.
He is still living in College Station. Yes.
Dude. Jimbo's got some balls, man. I mean, you're going to make $75 million, the biggest buyout in college football history, and you're going to stick around town? I don't know if I'd show my face. I really don't. Would you? Zach, biggest buyout in college football history. You showing your face around town?
I don't know that I could, especially after the way you leave. When you leave a program the way that you leave Florida State, you left it in shambles, right? Taggart couldn't recover. No coach afterwards has had any success.
Hey, can we get 3 for Willie Taggart real quick? We're going to have to work on that. That's okay. Yeah. Willie Taggart deserves a lot of credit. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Continue, please.
When you dishevel a program the way that Jimbo did, after winning, and you said it best, you just sit there and you do nothing.
Yeah, and that's nothing.
And you do nothing. Mm-hmm. And then you get bought out. You go to A&M,
right?
Which, I mean, you're going from one massive fan base who just really the only thing that Seminole fans care about is our football program. I mean, you could make an argument for the other sports, but we bleed and die for the football program that we have, especially since Bobby Bowden and the success we had.
Sure.
And then you go to A&M, which has another incredible fan base. You blow that up, and then you stick around. Jason, I don't know that I have the gonads to do that.
Hey, look, I would love for us to, as just a college football community, to present this proposition to Jimbo Fisher. Jimbo, we'll give you a job back. We'll find a job back if you will go participate as one of the male cheerleaders at Texas A&M, and we get to see it on video. Go out there in your whole get up, twist that thing around, participate in the midnight yell, and maybe we'll allow you back. I'm going to throw a stray at you, and we'll see if it sticks. A program that I could foresee interested in a guy like Jimbo Fisher. And it's a program we're going to talk about here in just another second. But that program is Texas Tech. Okay? Texas Tech, as we've chronicled on this show, is all in on football, is spending money out the wazoo, and is making no bones about it. They're being upfront. Hey, we're buying our program because we want to put Texas Tech on the map. I forget the guy's name. He's the oil money guy, sold his oil company for like $2 billion. That's why Texas Tech had the best transfer class. They spent, I think, $12 million, and they're doubling dudes up in the portal just to get them in. Them and Purdue have the most transfers of any school coming into this season. And they're trying to just make headlines, right? They put out that article, both the GM and this oil money guy, of saying, look, we're going to win the conference. We're spending more money than anybody. We're going to make Texas Tech the premier program in the Big 12. Okay? Yet you can't even tell me who their head coach is. It's Joey McGuire. I don't know much about this guy, but you could see, regardless of who he is, that this is a program that wants to win and wants to win now. And if they're going to spend all of this money, if it's not going to work, of all programs, this is going to be the one who's going to go try and hire the big name. And if there's a big name who's won a national championship before, other than Gus Malzahn, I can't see any that would want a head coaching job anytime soon. And I don't think Gus would want one either. And I don't know if Texas Tech would even give him a shot. He just failed at a Big 12 program. But Jimbo is just going to be sitting there pretty. He's not that far down the road in Texas. Apparently, he's still living in College Station. Is Texas Tech going to be giving him a call if they have a disappointing season? So that's my stray of the day. We're going to get that sponsored. Gary Wilkerson in the chat says they're going to hire Saban. Gary, if Texas Tech, forget Texas Tech, if Nick Saban even takes a call from a Big 12 program and we get wind of it and there are continued conversation, I will hand this show to you and you will be the new host. No idea if you would be interested, but it will be yours. We're going to take a break in just a minute, but before we do, we got to get to this top 25 coaches poll, okay? Coaches polls are easy targets. Everybody wants to say they're worthless, they're meaningless, we shouldn't even put them out. I understand, right? It's easy for us to get to that conclusion, especially after FSU does what they do last year after being ranked 10th in 2024's coaches poll. And so we're going to get to that in just a second. So do I put anything into it? No. Is it interesting? Yes, it is. It's a thing where you got to take it with a grain of salt. We know that. But look, we got 3 weeks to our first games. We got to make these games matter. And if you got to throw ridiculous rankings up there that has really not a whole lot behind it for me to lock in a little bit extra on a game because it's between two top 25 teams, I'm all right with that. We're actually going to get to the coaches poll after a quick break. We appreciate everybody hanging out on a Friday. College football talk every Friday, 9 to 10 a.m. And again, come once the games roll around, we're moving, we're expanding, we're going Mondays and Fridays, 9 to 10 a.m. every Monday and Friday here on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 network. We'll be right back. We appreciate you hanging out with us.
When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness, and most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC. We are professional grade.
Putting your needs first. It's the backbone of how First Florida Credit Union does business. In all honesty, you might as well be speaking another language when it comes to finances. Sure, I'm good with my money, but what am I missing in the fine print? That's what led me to First Florida Credit Union. They're the perfect choice for anyone starting their financial journey because they keep finances easy. Plus, they offer financial education and resources I can trust. So I'm always growing more confident. And as a young adult, I am constantly adding more responsibilities to my plate. From a car payment to a mortgage, it all adds up. Luckily, First Florida Credit Union makes sure it adds up in all the right places and not the wrong ones by offering better rates and lower fees than traditional banks, even if you're still trying to grow your credit. Because as a member-owned institution, First Florida genuinely puts people's needs first rather than focusing on profit. So I know as my needs change, they'll be right there to help me reach my goals. Check out firstflorida.org to learn how you can benefit too.
I've been telling you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for a long time now. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants.
We've had a Connecticut water softener and drinking water system in our home for more than 7 years. You can see the difference whether you're washing clothes, the dishes, or what I like to do most, fill this up for some coffee every morning, and mostly all day. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter.
Right now, you can get a free Connecticut reverse osmosis system with a purchase of a Connecticut Premier Softener. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions so you can improve it. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Ask about our 90-day love it or leave it guarantee. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Choose your own adventure. It's not just a saying, but a way of life here at Cycles of Jacksonville. And whether it's 2 wheels or 4 wheels, at Cycles of Jacksonville, a great adventure awaits. With brands like Honda, Vespa, Segway, and Triumph, Cycles of Jacksonville has you covered with their inventory featuring a 60,000 square foot building. If 4 wheels is more your thing, check out the largest selection of Honda Talons in the entire county. No matter what you're looking for, Cycles of Jacksonville is going to have the selection you need, all with great financing and rebates. Plus, if you're active duty military, Cycles of Jacksonville will offer you 0% financing along with great discounts for military and first responders. And when you want to get off the road and set sail, Cycles of Jacksonville has you covered with everything you need to get on the water. So if you're ready for a great adventure, let Cycles of Jacksonville be your guide. Located off Atlantic Boulevard, or check out their website at cyclesofjacksonville.com.
It's fast-paced,
Hands off on first down, and there goes Edward Vander.
high-fly,
Wide open receiver. It's caught.
action-packed, weekend fun. Fun for the entire family. It's the Jacksonville Sharks.
I feel like anybody could play in this league. It's gotta be like backyard football, right?
Whoa! This ain't the Arena League, Brent. This is the indoor league, and they play defense here.
It's a lot safer to just watch the professionals play. And watching is a lot of fun. A party in the stands at the arena for kids and adults. And it's indoors. Get out of the heat for the summer and watch the Sharks shine inside. Jacksonville Sharks football, season number 15. It's the Drive for 5, and it's still alive. Get your tickets at jacksharks.com.
Welcome back to Stadium Pulse here on a Friday. We got the coaches poll. We got a little bit of Arch Manning intel on him. Confirmation of what we talked about last week, and we'll get to UCF's quarterback battle. But we start with the coaches poll here on the second half hour. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us once again. Coaches poll. So this is last year right here. So take a look. Obviously, the top five was decently accurate. Alabama slipped, right? Notre Dame should have been higher. We know that. Michigan was way too high. They went 8-5 last year. And then good old Florida State rounding it out the top 10 with a 2-10 season. All right, so obviously this is evidence. The coaches poll preseason means next to zero. But it allows us the following exercise. If we look at this year's, which team's going to be this year's FSU? All right, there's going to be a team in this top 25 that's going to be absolutely atrocious. Which team do you think it'll be? Before we get there, Texas at number 1. Obviously, we know why Texas is number 1. It's not just because of Arch Manning. Obviously, that's a huge part. They have 3 absolute studs on defense between Colin Simmons, going to be a first rounder. He's a sophomore. Anthony Hill at the linebacker spot, and then Michael Taffy. I forget how to exactly say that name, but the starting safety that's been there for a minute. Their defense is going to be real as well, right? They got the 2 guys in the backfield. If Wingo can be a stud, kind of like Golden was last year, they're going to be in business, all right? It's not just because of Arch. We'll get to Arch in a second. Ohio State, Penn State. Everybody's picking Penn State this year. Good luck, Penn State, dealing with expectations for the first time, really under James Franklin's tenure. They've had expectations. They've had playoff expectations. This year they have national title expectations with Drew Aller coming back. They still have 0 offense. Tyler Warren's gone. He's with the Colts now, obviously. But they got 2 really good backs. They got Drew Aller returning. Everybody thinks it's going to be a national title contender. We'll see. Georgia's in at 4. I love it. I would hate for them to be 1. There's no point. This is a meaningless poll. Don't put us at 1. Notre Dame's at 5. You going to have a true freshman quarterback playing, or redshirt freshman, CJ Carr. So we'll see. Clemson 6. Oregon at 7. Guys, all these teams have new quarterbacks. Alabama as well. LSU at 9. I think that's where we find our drop off. Similar to last year, except for Michigan at 8. You got your top 9, and I think that's where you have your drop off. But then Miami's at 10. There's a lot more question marks that I would have about 10 with Miami than I would the top 9. All right, and then you have some more question marks between Arizona State. I think that was kind of throwing them a bone. Because they won the conference last year. Obviously, Leavitt, their quarterback, is returning. I get it. South Carolina at 13. That's a huge wild card. They might be the biggest wild card of the season in the SEC. Have a tough schedule, but they might have the best quarterback in the conference. That's right. Norris Sellers. I think Nussmeier's unbelievable. I have him as 1. We've shown you my quarterback rankings a time or 2 on this show. I think we even showed it last week. But Lenore Sellers is unbelievable, right? They and their defense, they have a lot of returners other than Kennard. So we'll see. Michigan could easily, why is Michigan 14? They're 14 because they have the highest paid quarterback, Bryce Underwood, true freshman, who will be playing for them at $10 million. If you go 8-5 and you're playing a freshman quarterback, a true freshman quarterback, you shouldn't be allowed to be in the top 15. I think that should be a rule across the board. If you're coming off an 8-5 season, don't care what program you are, you're playing a true freshman, shouldn't be in the top 15. Florida's at 17, Tennessee's at 18. I think both fan bases are pretty happy with that. 23 is A&M with Marcel Reed. And then we get to Texas Tech at 24. This is, again, Texas Tech on the field has done absolutely nothing to deserve anything like this. But they have, on paper, they have a lot of good players. They just bought them. Right? And the headline this week is that they just recruited the number 2 overall prospect in the 2027 class. Okay? LaDainian Guyton. The number 2 overall guy in the 2027 class, just committed to Texas Tech, and he's from Savannah, Georgia. What was that paycheck like? Holy cow. And, I mean, if you're committing this early, and you're a Savannah guy, and you're a defensive lineman from Georgia, go to Georgia. Our track record speaks for itself. The guys that Georgia's put in the National Football League. This is not, I mean, so all that to say, I am so curious what this bag looked like. Because he's recruiting, he committed so early. And, look, he says this. I think this is let me read this quote for you. To see the conviction that this guy's got about playing for the Red Raiders and continuing his academic career in Lubbock, Texas. Quote, I'll still take visits, and I'm always going to listen. But once I pick a school, I zero in. Those two things are complete opposites, and you set them in the same sentence. So which is it? I'm zeroed in. I'm locked in. I'm still going to listen. I'm still going to keep my ears open. Still going to keep my recruitment open. Still going to take visits. Oh, but no. Hey, don't worry, Red Raiders faithful. I'm locked in. Okay, buddy. Quote, it proves that something special is going on in Lubbock. And by something special, he means bags being thrown left and right. Because other than that, there is nothing special happening in Lubbock, Texas. I can guarantee you. You guys think that you can recruit? I mean, Red Raider fans, I get it. I mean, if I were you, I'd be doing the same thing. But it's all over. I mean, they just think that they are the best, have the best recruiting coach in college football history. I mean, they must, of course. I mean, DeMarion Guyton is just committed. So y'all, or LaDamian, excuse me. Yeah, I mean, he's got to be a recruiting guru. Y'all really buying that? If y'all are buying that, that wouldn't be the only thing that you're buying, because you just bought LaDamian Guyton for probably $10 million as well. Texas Tech, huge target on their backs this year. All right, we got to get to Archie Manning as well. Look, we showed you on this, we'll throw it up there in a second, but we talked all about this last week. Arch Manning, if you read the tea leaves, right, everybody wants to tell you that he's going to win the Heisman this year, be the number 1 overall pick by the freaking Browns, and go to the draft, and that's going to be it. He's going to be a 1-year starter at Texas because he's going to be that good. All right, we told you last week, and I'm far from the only one saying this, that if you're buying that, you're naive. You're naive to the fact of what the Mannings are all about. You're naive to the fact of how the success of 1-year starters in college that go in the NFL, especially in the first round. Arch Manning is going to stay. We said that last week. And Archie, old grandpa, confirmed that this week. They asked him if he was going to, go to the draft. He said, quote, don't have the quote, but he just said, oh yeah, he just said he'll be at Texas. He'll be at Texas in 2026. That he's going to stick around. He's going to start for 2 years. He's going to be the guy. And look, this was shocking news to some people. Yeah, what say you, Colin Cowherd? He's going to be the number 1 overall pick to the Browns and unite with Nick Saban. I mean, we got Nick Saban as the coach of the Browns by Colin Cowherd, and on the same level playing field, we got Gary Wilkerson in the chat saying Nick Saban's going to be the head coach at Texas Tech. Gary, I got to give you some credit. I think there's a better shot he's the coach at Texas Tech than he is of the Cleveland Browns. So you're ahead of Colin Cowherd. Go ahead and submit your resume. What's he on, FS1 now? So it's a total joke. It's clicks. It's for clicks. We understand that. And because this is what the Manning family understands. It's all about long-term success in the National Football League. This is what we talked about last week. And this is the graphic I showed you last week. Okay, we're looking at one-year starters in college football at their respective programs. All of the ones that were drafted in the first round. Hey, Arch, you want to be on this list? I don't think so. I mean, just a phenomenal list here of unbelievable NFL talent, and the best of them is Mitch Trubisky. And you go ahead and round it out with Dwayne Haskins, Trey Lance, Mac Jones, and Anthony Richardson. In the last 13 years, or 14, this is every quarterback that's been drafted in the first round of the NFL draft that was a one-year starter at their program. Absolutely terrible. The only guy that's avoided this, the last one to do it, was Cam Newton back in 2011. It's a total anomaly. Other than that, this is what you got. Again, the Manning family knows this. And they're not trying. The guy's going to make just as much in college as he is in his rookie deal in the NFL anyway. And even if he wasn't, I'm pretty sure the Manning family's got him covered. But I think you're playing yourself if you don't think that the Manning family and Arch himself knows exactly what this list looks like. You think Peyton, Cooper, Eli, Archie are trying to sign Arch up to be the next Mitch Trubisky? Yeah. No. Not happening. Okay? The guy's going to be at Texas for 2 years. Here's the question. Is there any caveat? We'll see what y'all think in the chat, but is there any caveat to this that he will return to 2026? If he wins the Heisman, if he throws for 4,000 yards, is he coming back? I would say yes. I don't think it really depends on what he does this year. I really don't. But if he throws for 4,000 yards, wins the Heisman, and wins the national championship, then we potentially have another question. I think the national championship could be the swayer of all of these things. Here's my other question. Does this put more pressure or less pressure on Sark, Steve Sarkisian? Because if he only has it for 1 year, he knows I have the prodigal, or the prodigal's not the right word there. I apologize. I've got the guy. I've got the prodigy. There we go. How about it? Arch Manning on my football team, and I've got 1 year to win a national championship, and I've got to win it now or else I'm a failure because I had the prodigy. I had the golden boy of all quarterbacks in college football, and I couldn't get it done. Or is it more pressure that, Sark, you had 2 years to win a national championship with Arch Manning, and you still couldn't get it done? Guys, hop in the chat. William Torres says the fact that Arch stayed at Texas as a backup means he's not leaving anytime soon. There's some common sense. At a baby. Bill Torres. I love William Torres. He's always in the chat. I appreciate him. Yeah, you're exactly right. If he's not staying if he wanted to be a one and done type of guy, he would have gone somewhere where he could play sooner. Or if he's trying to get to the league as soon as possible, the last thing he would have done was willingly, voluntarily sat for 2 years behind Quinn Ewers. It wouldn't have happened. Regardless of if he thought he could beat him out and it just didn't work out, all that stuff's off the table. Cutter says either way, Sarkisian ain't gonna win a natty with him. I don't know about that. Especially if he's got 2 years. And I'm just trying to, if I think he's going to be, if we talked about what his stat projection would be this year. And I think I said 3,600 passing yards, a 2-to-1 TD to interception ratio. I said slow your roll on thinking he's going to go 30-10. It's going to be a lot closer to 25-12. Right? The guy is going to be good. I don't think there's any question. He's going to be great. Especially, after all the time that he's learned in Sark's system. It's another reason why they were number one in the poll, because of all of the new quarterbacks that are coming into college football this year, and there's a ton of them. A guy that's coming into first of all, Sark is one of the best, if not the best offensive mind in college football. He's been there, and the OC is there as well. And all of these things have stayed. There's been no change for Arch really since he got there. It's a great system to be put into. He's going to have success, but especially in year 2, if we're even thinking 12 months from now, what he could do in 2026, I don't know if I'm going to put it past Sark and Texas to win a national championship, especially they're front-loading contracts right now, trying to get out in front of the revenue-sharing stuff. If they're successful in that, there's really no telling. A couple minutes to go here on a Friday. We got to get down to Orlando. We checked the pulse down there at the Bounce House. I got to look it up. What UCF Stadium is now called? Is it Acrisure? I wish it would just be the Bounce House. That was kind of sick, but I'm pretty sure they were bought. It's probably a good thing for the program. Need the money. I think it's Acrisure something.
It's the Acrisure Bounce House.
Acrisure Bounce House.
Yep.
And what is Acrisure? Acrisure, is it a bank?
I mean, let's find out.
It's got to be a bank. Everybody's got a bank. Or a mortgage company. Feels like those are the two mainstays. Anyway.
It is a finance, tech, and insurance broker.
All right, I win. UCF got a quarterback problem, man. Scott Frost, I mean, we talked about it all last week. They got 3 guys. They got 4 quarterbacks total, obviously, and Davy Belfort's now one of them. He's the young transfer from VTech. They got the 3, Taven Jackson, Ja'Cory Brown, Cam Foucher. Okay, and they asked Scott Frost about it this week after they did their scrimmage. And here's the quote. I'd say all 3, which is a cloudy answer. I understand. Right? The old adage in just football in general is if you got 2 quarterbacks, you got none. Right? That was even referenced in the second episode of the SEC show on Netflix with Lagway and Mertz. If you got 2 quarterbacks, you got none. Well, what about if you got 3? This goes above the line, past the line of gamesmanship, not trying to allow any information not let any information out to other schools, right? We know teams do that. Ohio State is doing that right now with Julian saying he's going to be the guy. They're not saying he's going to be the guy. They don't want Texas's defensive coordinator to only have to prepare for one guy, right? Teams do this every year. But if you got 3 and you can't even dwindle it down for 2 to your own media, I think that's a big problem. I think it's a big problem. And they're continuing to ask guys to separate. They keep saying whoever separates themselves in the next couple of weeks and whoever turns the ball over the least is probably going to be the option. All right, but you don't have much time. Right, and obviously you got a couple cupcakes to start the season, so it's not the end of the world if it takes you a week or 2. But I think you'd be more encouraged as a Knight faithful to want him to declare a starter right now. You would, and I think you'd be most comfortable if that starter was Taven Jackson. I think Taven Jackson coming over from Indiana is your quickest shot at turning this thing around quickly. It's your best shot at it. Okay, Ja'Cory Brown is not the guy to turn this thing around and right the ship and get you off to a fast start. Okay, it's Taven Jackson. He's got the most talent of all of them. I don't think that's questioned. It's obviously about him knowing the offense, right? Understanding the offense, the brains, making the right decisions, not trying to hit a home run on every pass attempt. That's probably their issue with him. And if they say that whoever turns the ball over the least is probably going to be the guy, then I would say maybe then Ja'Cory has the advantage because he's going to be the runner of all 3 of them. He's the most athletic. He's going to be the runner of the football. Then they control the clock, keep the ball on the ground the most. Then I don't know if I'd be surprised if Ja'Cory is your week 1 starter, if Taven won't stop turning the ball over. But Ja'Cory Brown can also turn the ball over with the best of them from what we saw last year when he's got to throw it. So who knows? We're going to continue to update that week by week. Gus Malzahn also apparently threw a tirade. This is a deep level report I think this is one of those old Reddit ones. So believe it if you want to. And that's how we're going to end today's show. An old Gus Malzahn tirade over controlling the offense with Mike Norvell. Not an official report, but I figured I'd throw that in your ear, FSU fans, just to get your Friday extra nice off to a great start. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Appreciate Zach. He's going to be in with us each and every show from now on. Y'all show him some love. Feel free to continue to hate on Noel's Faithful. He's one of their best. And that's going to do it for us today here on Stadium Pulse, presented by the Nimnick family of dealerships. Check them out on Cassett Avenue and Phillips Highway. Brent and Austin show is next. Have a good Friday, everybody.